Welcome everyone. Back today with more of the Stanley Parable. Hopefully this will carry on back to where we left off. I don't know, is this the same one or not? Oh, the balloons are back. Yeah, the balloons are back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm going to have to go on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned
through the door on the left?
Was no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
This should be brand new
Stanley
now.
took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
What happens if I go down with the bucket? Is it the same? Is it not? Shouldn't be. I got the bucket now.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Okay.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, man.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Back to this music. I want the collectibles as well.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
You want me to put the bucket down, don't you? Okay. Where are we heading now?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Destroys the bucket.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
And what about if I say no?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Oh, what's happened now?
The bucket destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
What's next? Dying again. We've still got the balloons up.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Turn the computer off. Why not? Why not? I think the story progresses differently if you grab the bucket, so I will carry on with that theme and grab the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
There we
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Did I do with everything? There was a collectible on the right, wasn't there?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Oh,
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's not the bucket telling me. I'm trying to get that collectible.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
But if I go through there, the door will shut. Okay.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance
I've been down there with the bucket.
Straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yeah. Oh, it just catches back up to it, doesn't it? Dickheads. Yeah, this is different. So, yeah, now it's all about the collecting stuff, right? Okay. There will be a reward for finding them all. Well, he told me there's not. Okay. 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 Ooh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What happens if I go down? With the bucket? Obviously we've done... there was a collectible down here, wasn't there? But did I come down here with the bucket?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I
the bucket
crazy?
again.
He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
Okay.
This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come
Where's
from
the
this.
bucket gone?
Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was,
Yes.
of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Right.
Oh, gracious.
You going back to the same
Without
things you
my
did in the
bucket,
first
I've
video?
gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
I gotta look for the bucket,
Could
have
it
I?
truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
I can't see any buckets. Oh.
Find me!
Oh,
He had
okay.
to find the bucket.
Okay.
He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
A bit much.
It was incredibly painful. Stanley
Oh, no, there's
doubled
buckets
over
everywhere now.
and blacked out.
I was trying to find the bucket.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, I bet there's going to be a bucket in here somewhere.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Is there?
She rose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort.
That's what
and
about the
security,
buckets now.
and walked to her place of work.
Hey, there
But
it
on this
is.
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket
Well,
with him.
it disappeared, didn't it?
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total
Game's gone
clarity on
crazy.
everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Backflipped all the way to work. Oh, God. Where do they get this stuff from? And we start again. So I am presuming that's it for that way.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
computers are
he
saying
couldn't
the
find
same.
a trace of his co-workers.
Computers are saying the same stuff. Does that mean anything? I don't know. But I do know one thing though.
The good old
Buckets.
Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I'm trying to think if I've done everything that way. I'll just go this way. Let's just have a look. Now we go to the meeting room. Then this time we'll go up the stairs. Yes.
Coming to a staircase,
Yeah, 'cause
Stanley and
downstairs
the bucket
led to that
walked
place, didn't
upstairs
it?
to the boss's office.
There'll be something to do with that as well.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
That was definitely luck.
The bucket knew all along. Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Hey, here's another one.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things.
You think of one then?
Mini stands.
Go for it.
Stanley figs.
No.
What about Stanlerines? Yes.
No.
I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
You can change that name. First one was fine. I've got 3. I need to find 2 more.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he will be
all
all
about
right.
the bucket.
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I went down here last time, didn't I? It led to nothing. I've got to have a look.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
I've got to try
The door
it.
behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I didn't do it last time, so I got to do it.
Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. Here we go. Okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of
I don't know if I'm too keen on this bit now.
Death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
What have I got to do?
Stanley.
Ah, shit.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
What? What the hell's going on?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
What is going on? Oh my god. What is going on?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be?
There's a few more than 25 buckets there. What we got over here? The bucket with 2 handles. God's sake, man. No one can control a bucket. No, okay. The stress bucket. Okay. Oh god. Cave drawing. Pepper bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
It's a bucket. The hanging bucket. Okay. Do I just wander out? Then I'm going to get down there, aren't I? Looks like that's the aim. Oh no, I got it. What the hell? I thought I was going to fall.
Something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
I'm back
Let
in.
Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
What's going on with this bucket thing? Getting a bit too obsessed over a bucket. Oh my god. Phone's going off again now.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot.
That's
Thanks,
list.
sweetie. See you tonight.
Hey, I'm only one more away. We'll soon see what happens there. No talking. So, what happens if I go down there without the buckets? I don't think I actually did that, did I?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
There
doors,
we go.
he entered the door on his left.
We're not doing the bucket this time, but I know that I didn't go down the hole without the bucket. So that is the aim.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
If anything happens, because there's no bucket. I'll press that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What
it the
could
same
it
code?
mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
Is it?
To nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Uh-oh. You can't do anything in this game, can you? Come on.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Right, here we go. Down. Now again, I'm going to get to the escape bit, and I'm going to get down hole in the floor. So I didn't do that the first time. I know I've done that with the bucket,
Stanley
but
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
nope.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I want to see what the difference is without the bucket now.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
We'll see. We'll see. I didn't die with the bucket. Oh, but is the bucket's not going to save this time, is it?
Into motion, and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise.
Can't jump.
He reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Can't
Stanley
get
can't
out of
see
here.
the bigger picture.
Ooh,
he
a
doesn't
duck.
know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss,
Can't jump.
like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and
Oh,
shallow
I'm not
life.
looking.
Farewell, Stanley.
Not looking. No, it's stuck.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay. So what now because of no bucket?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
A selection of sounds used throughout the game. Okay. What's this? Nature paintings. My computer. The office layout. A corridor. That's it. The two doors. There you go, turned them off. What's the plan? Maintenance room. I don't know what this bit is. Office clock. Boss's office. Oh, from the development. Thought that was different ones. I thought I seen them. The lounge.
See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upwards.
Okay. But I don't know where I've got to go. What's that? I don't even know where I am. The apartment timer. Oh. Okay. So if you didn't pick up... I don't even know where I am. I don't know where I am. These different endings. I didn't even see that one. Hang on. Something was up then. Looks like that's the way to go, but I want to see what else is over here. I went that way. Just my office. Hey. I'm going to head to the exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see?
I don't
Can
know.
you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me.
This is where I'm going to die
You
now.
can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your Xbox. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move
I do
forward,
know.
you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
And back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know which other ones I haven't done now. Come
Where
on.
are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfect. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I don't know.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No
Was this
collectible
better
here.
than the meeting? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I want to go down there. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Okay. I figured it out.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies.
That's the worst two choices. That's the worst two choices.
Encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1. Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay. Ooh. What's this now? Okay. I'm in the storage room. Messy storage room. Okay.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less
again?
sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
It's just a bucket.
It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms.
I can't do
Why
anything.
everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket.
Okay.
But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
Where is this leading? I'm lost. I'm honestly lost. We'll see if we'll play it again next time. Anyway, take care.